Slope day 2, we're going to talk more on a graph with slope. So just a couple quick reminders about slope. Slope, which we also call the letter M. When we're talking about it on the graph, we're going to be talking about it in terms of rise over run, the vertical change compared to the horizontal change. When we're looking on a graph and we get our slope, we need to remember to reduce it. Leave it as a fraction unless it's a whole number. And if it is a fraction, we are making sure that once it's reduced that we also leave it improper. So those are just kind of a couple key points for you. In our previous lesson, we made slope triangles. So when you are looking on a graph, you want to make the slope triangle and you want to count up your spaces that are used actually on the graph in order to actually get the rise and run values then. When we look at this first graph here, we have a point over here on the left and a point over here on the right, keeping in mind your movements up and to the right are both positive, movements down and to the left are going to be negative movements here. To go from this left point to the right point, I look at my rise first, so I'm moving up or down. I need to move up, and that's an up of 1, and then I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces to the right. So my slope is going to be rise 1 over run of 7, which is already reduced here. So my slope is 1/7 then. If I take a look at this one, I'm moving from this point down here to this point up here. My rise 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2 to the right. So my slope is going to be 3/2. And I should have written that as a fraction. I don't know why I wrote it side to side like that. That's how you would type it in if you were doing it on the Classic, but just for now, we'll write it as an actual fraction. Taking a look at page number 6 here, looking at our slopes, we are going to go down 1, and then we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots to the right. So my slope is -1/8, and remember to move that negative out front then. Slope of this line here, we're going to move and tell me what is your rise. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be good. And to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope is rise of 4, run of 4. This is going to reduce to 1. So when we have it reduced to a whole number, remember we actually write the whole number. In this one, go ahead, tell me what would be your slope. So we're going to rise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to run 1, 2, 3. So my slope is rise of 6, run of 3, and that's going to give you a slope of 2 in the end. For the next set of 3, these lines have no points on them. Not a big deal. What we're going to do is we're going to actually find 2 points that are on the line that actually go right through those grid lines to make our life easier. So we are going to just pick our points. I'm going to pick this one that I see up here, and then it also looks like this one right here is a good one. So I do just have to be careful and make sure that they actually are crossing over the grid. So to go from left to right, I'm going to move down 2, 1, 2, 3 to the right. So my slope is -2/3, and that is reduced and good to go. Again, over here, I just need to pick 2 points. It looks like there's one right here, and it looks like following along the line, it looks like we have to go all the way up to here. So that'll work for us. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 is my rise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is my run. So my slope is 4/5. In the next one, we're going to just pick any 2 points here. I see right down here, which is kind of nice. And I also see this one. Those intercepts are kind of nice there. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and a run of 1, 2. If you notice, I also could have picked this one right here, and that would have been a rise of 2 and a run of 1. So the nice part is it doesn't really matter which ones you pick. 4/2 is really going to just reduce to be 2. If I had done this one, I would get 2/1, which would also just reduce to be 2. In the next 2, we are going to go ahead and plot these points, and then we'll find the slope. So the first point is 1, 5, so over 1 and up to 5. And the next one is 4 and -2. So now we're going to find the slope. We need to go left to right. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. and 1, 2, 3 to the right. So my slope is negative 7/3. In this one, I have the point 2, 1 and negative 5, negative 3. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my slope here is 4. Oh, I did the wrong point. Oh my goodness, Mrs. Grabner. 2, negative 1, not positive 1. Okay. So we're actually going up 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So my slope is 2/7. If you look at the next page, there are a couple different types of slope that you can see here. Positive slope is going to move up. Negative slope is going to move down. We also have in here with this nose what is called an undefined slope. So what happens is it is just a vertical line, and then we also have a slope of 0. So those are all of our different options here. So if we go back to this last page real quick, we can kind of take a look through. This one, notice the line is actually going down. It looks like his face. This one has a negative slope, and it ends up that our actual slope number is, in fact, a negative. This line looks like it's moving up from left to right, and it is a positive slope, and it is actually a positive number. So we could look at all the rest of these on this page and see that they follow the negative and positive rules. Final one and type of problem that we have for today is given a point to actually draw the slope. So we need to remember that this is rise over run. And if you had a slope that was a whole number, for example, 2, you'll need to remember just to put that over 1 so that you still have a rise and a run number. So from here, I am going to rise 2 and then run 5 to the right, but that's going to take me off my graph. So another way that I can do this is to actually turn both of these negative, because a negative divided by a negative would still end up giving me a positive slope. So to go back to my point, I'm going to have to travel down 2 and then to the left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's going to give me a line with a slope of 2/5. Can't draw lines very well. In this one, my slope is negative 4/7, so I need to just take that negative and move it up with my 4 or down with my 7. It doesn't really matter. I'm just going to move it up with the 4. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to the right 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those are my 2 points, and I could go ahead and connect them with a line then. In this last one, my slope is 1/6. Rise over run, and if I rise up 1, I'm not going to be able to run, so I'm going to change this so that they're both negative again, which means I'm going to go down 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the left then, and that's going to go ahead and give me the line with a positive slope of 1/6.